Conservation of plants and animals. Earth is the home to millions of types of organisms. These organisms exist in a wide variety of shapes and sizes and are found in places as varied as forests, deserts, rivers, oceans, and ice-cold polar regions. The following images provide a small glimpse of the enormous variety of life on Earth. Biodiversity. The number and variety of plants, animals, and other organisms that exist is known as biodiversity. One can use the term biodiversity while talking about the organisms of a particular region or of the Earth as a whole. Depending on the size and climatic conditions, some regions show higher biodiversity than others. Before discussing various issues concerning biodiversity, let's familiarize with a few terms related to biodiversity. Few terms related to the biodiversity. Number 1, species. Number 2, habitat. Number 3, endemic species. Number 4, extinct species. Number 5, endangered species. Number 6, vulnerable species. Number 7, threatened species. Number 8, flora and fauna. Species. The term species refers to a group or class of animals or plants having certain common and permanent characteristics that clearly distinguish it from other groups. For example, Homo sapien or modern human beings form one type of animal species. Habitat. The natural environment of a plant or animal species where it lives, multiplies, and thrives naturally is called its habitat. Some habitats are number 1, polar or Arctic areas. Number 2, mountains. Number 3, oceans. Number 4, deserts. Number 5, savanna or grasslands or prairies. Number 6, tropical rainforest. Number 7, woodland or forest. Number 8, tundra. Number 9, taiga. Number 10, wetland areas or marshes. Number 11, pond. Number 12, rivers or lakes. Number 13, cave. Endemic species. Plant and animal species confined to a specific geographical area are called endemic species. The giant panda, for example, is endemic to the mountains of Sichuan, Gansu, and Shanxi provinces in China. In India, the Asiatic lion is endemic to Gir National Park in Gujarat. Extinct species. Species that no longer exist anywhere on the earth are called extinct species. Dinosaurs and dodo bird are the examples of extinct species. Endangered species. Species that are at high risk of getting extinct in their habitat are called endangered species. For example, brown pelican, grey wolves, rhinoceros, and polar bear. Vulnerable species. Species that exist in low numbers and may become endangered because of habitat destruction, overexploitation, or other environmental disturbances are called vulnerable species. Some of the vulnerable species are black-necked stork, hippopotamus, lion, penguin, and whale. Threatened species. Endangered and vulnerable species are together described as threatened species. Some of the threatened species are Asian elephant, leopard, red fox, and red deer stag. Flora and fauna. The numerous species of plants living in their natural surroundings are termed the flora of a place. and the animal species constitute the fauna. Loss of biodiversity. Several species of plants and animals have become extinct in the last 2 centuries, and there are many that face the threat of extinction. As the life on Earth relies on the interactions and interdependencies among different plants and animals, biodiversity is essential for our own survival. Loss of biodiversity is therefore one of the leading environmental problems today. Some of the major causes for loss of biodiversity are given below. Number 1. Destruction of forests. Number 2. Pollution. Number 3. Climatic changes. Number 4. Killing of animals. And number 5. Natural disasters. Destruction of forests. The loss or continual degradation of forest habitat due to natural or human-related causes is called deforestation. Following are the main reasons for the deforestation. Number 1. Requirement of wood is one of the main reasons trees are felled for. Wood is used as a fuel for making furniture, in construction, and for making paper, boats, ships, artworks, rayon, etc. It is also processed to make plywood and hardboard for making furniture, etc. Number 2. Overgrazing by cattle is also a key factor that contributes to deforestation. Number 3. Rapid urbanization and increase in human population that led to conversion of forests to agricultural lands. Forests have also been cleared for construction of roads, railway tracks, dams, etc. Destruction of forests have the following effects. Number 1. Roots of trees help in binding the soil particles together. Loss of topsoil, which is rich in humus and nutrients due to erosion, reduces the fertility of soil. Over the time, the fertile soil gets converted into a desert. This is called desertification. Number 2. Forests are the natural habitat of many species of animals and birds. Cutting down trees destroys the homes of those species, which poses a threat to their survival. As trees take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen during photosynthesis, their destruction disturbs the balance of these gases in the atmosphere. Increase in the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere may lead to an increase in global temperature. Number 3. Trees draw groundwater using their roots and release water vapor into the atmosphere through a process called transpiration. If a large number of trees are destroyed, overall transpiration rate will be greatly reduced. This can make the atmosphere drier and lead to reduced rainfall. Number 4. Trees help to absorb the rainwater that falls on the ground. If they are destroyed, this excess water could cause floods. And number 5. Loss of trees may lead to reduction in the binding capacity of soil particles during rainy season. This may in turn lead to landslides in mountainous regions. Pollution. Pollution of air, water, and land adversely affects many plants and animals. Air pollution. Air pollution is the introduction of chemicals, particulate matters, or biological materials that cause harm or discomfort to humans or other living organisms or cause damage to the natural environment or built environment into the atmosphere. The atmosphere is a complex, dynamic natural gaseous system that is essential to support life on planet Earth. Stratospheric ozone depletion due to air pollution has long been recognized as a threat to human health as well as to the Earth's ecosystem. Number 2. Water pollution. Water pollution is the contamination of water bodies. Water pollution occurs when pollutants are discharged directly or indirectly into water bodies without the adequate treatment to remove harmful compounds. Number 3. Land pollution. Land pollution is the degradation of Earth's land surfaces, often caused by human activities and their misuse of land resources. It occurs when waste is not disposed properly. Health hazard disposal of urban and industrial wastes, exploitation of minerals, and improper use of soil by inadequate agricultural practices are a few factors. Urbanization and industrialization are major causes of land pollution. Climatic changes. Natural and human activities have led to global climatic changes. Our climate is changing, both naturally and due to human exploitation. There is already undeniable evidence that animals, birds, and plants are being affected by climatic change and global warming in both their distribution and behavior. Unless greenhouse gas emissions are severely reduced, climate change could cause a quarter of land animals, bird life, and plants to become extinct. Species that are not able to adjust to the changing climate become extinct. Killing of animals. Everything in an ecosystem is connected. So, if you get rid of one animal, all the other creatures will be affected. The animal could be an important element in a certain food chain, and all other creatures which are part of that food chain would be affected. Also, each creature has its effect on the environment, and if one disappears, a chain reaction starts, and many other creatures and environmental elements can disappear too. Natural disasters, earthquakes, floods, droughts, cyclones, tsunamis, and hurricanes also contribute to the reduction of plant and animal species in many areas. Conserving biodiversity. Conservation refers to the preservation and careful management of plant and animal species in order to prevent their extinction. Several steps have been taken by many national and international organizations towards conservation of biodiversity. Let us discuss some of them. Forest reserves, wildlife sanctuaries and national parks, zoological parks, botanical gardens, organization involved in conservation, recycling paper. Forest reserves. Forest reserves are large areas of forest cover that are protected from human exploitation. Strict laws have been enacted all over the world to prevent falling of trees in forest reserves. Thus, forest reserves have been established with an aim at serving the following purposes. Number 1. Prevention of deforestation. Number 2. Planned harvesting. Number 3. Replenishment of lost forest cover by planting new trees, that is, reforestation. Number 4. Protection of food and shelter meant for wildlife. Number 5. Protection from forest fire. Number 6. Protection from insects and pests. Number 7. Protection from overgrazing. Number 8. Hunting regulations. Wildlife sanctuaries and national parks. Wildlife sanctuaries and national parks are protected forests all across the world to preserve certain plant and animal species. In India, there are more than 400 wildlife sanctuaries and about 100 national parks. Cutting trees and hunting animals in these areas is strictly prohibited. Some wildlife sanctuaries and national parks are Bandhavgarh in Madhya Pradesh for tigers, Bandipur in Karnataka for tigers, Jim Corbett in Uttarakhand for tigers, Dachigam in Jammu and Kashmir for Kashmir stags, Gir in Gujarat for Asiatic lions, Kanjiranga in Assam for Indian rhinoceros, Kanha in Madhya Pradesh for tigers. Sariska in Rajasthan for tigers. Periyar in Kerala for Asian elephants. And Keoladeo in Ghana in Bharatpur for birds, including the Siberian cranes. Birds such as the Siberian crane travel large distances and come to India in groups during winter in order to escape cold and unfavorable conditions. The movement of animals in large numbers from one place to another to overcome unfavorable conditions is called migration. Even though steps are being taken for protection of animals, illegal hunting is still a major threat to wildlife. Poachers hunt animals for number 1. Body parts valued as ornaments, for example, Asian elephants for ivory and turtles for shells. Number 2. Body parts used in traditional medicines, for example, Indian rhinoceros for horns and tigers for bones. And number 3. Fur and hides. For example, deer and cattle for leather, alligators and snakes for skins, and wildcats, minks and bears for fur. Zoological parks. A zoological park or zoo refers to any park, building, cage, enclosure or premise in which a live animal or animals are kept for public exhibition. Zoos play a major role in creating awareness among common people about the need to conserve nature. Some zoos serve as breeding centers for some rare or endangered animals. Botanical gardens. Botanical gardens may be called as zoos of the plant world. They have been established to conserve rare and threatened plant species. There are about 1600 botanical gardens world over. Most botanical gardens also serve as seed banks and have reserves of seeds of several species of plants. Organization involved in conservation. Conserving the biodiversity is the duty of every human being. To promote conservation, government and non-government organizations at the international, national, and local levels are constantly organizing awareness programs and issuing rules and regulations to protect forests and wildlife. The International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources works towards assessing the global conservation status of plant and animal species. IUCN maintains a comprehensive list known as the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. Here, species are classified into 9 categories on the basis of criteria such as the rate of decline, population size, area of geographical distribution, etc. The 9 categories in the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species are given below. Number 1. Extinct. Number 2. Extinct in the wildlife. Number 3. Critically endangered. Number 4. Endangered. Number 5. Vulnerable. Number 6. Near threatened. Number 7. Least concern. Number 8. Data deficient. Number 9. Not evaluated. The main aim of the IUCN Red List is to focus the attention of conservationists towards species that are under threat of becoming extinct. Few of the animals listed in the Red List are blue whale, African elephant, sea turtle, and Bengal tiger. IUCN also publishes a catalogue called the Red Data Book, which lists rare species and those in danger of extinction. In India, some non-government organizations share the job of conserving the environment with the government. Some of the famous Indian conservation programs that have gained recognition in the recent past are Project Tiger, the Vana Mahotsava program, and the Chipko movement. Recycling paper. Recycling paper is one of the ways of conserving trees. Paper is made up of cellulose fiber, the main source of which the wood pulp obtained from trees. The pulp and paper industry is so huge that trees are planted and grown specifically to make paper. Besides avoiding wastage of paper, we can also reuse and recycle it. Waste paper can be made into useful products such as packaging, writing paper, tissue paper, etc. Recycling refers to manufacturing new products from materials that would otherwise be considered waste. The process of recycling involves collecting waste materials, sorting them, and processing them into raw materials that could be used to make new products, the main source of which is wood pulp obtained from trees.